What's going on? I know it's been a while, and I have really been slacking and lacking on doing reviews, and it's a reason. It's because the shows kind of got a little bit too far uh, unrealistic. I understand that they are fake, and I started going on tangents about how they weren't real and all that good stuff. But they do show some real life situations and some very unrealistic situations, unless I guess you live in these certain cities. I don't know, but I was watching. I always watch with my husband. Any wretched show. So Real Housewives, um, Love and Hip Hop, all those. And what what got me to thinking I need to do a review on this is my husband said we were watching Real House. No, Love and Hip Hop New York with bad bodies on what was it? Bad bodies on what is it? BB is bad bodies on decline. Bad bodies. BBOD. I don't remember what it even stands for. They probably should choose another name. It's bad bodies. Something bad bodies over decorate. I don't know decoration. Something I don't know. But what he asked me was, do you? I mean, is that really what women do? They walk around in bras all day. Like everybody walks around in bras and halter tops everywhere. And I was just thinking, like, I don't know. Now, personally, I sit at home all day and I have to either breastfeed or breast pump. So I'm always exposed all day at the house. But when I leave or on camera, like right now, I'm covered. And that could be the old school church mentality, Christian mentality, whatever you want to call it. But that's how I've always been. And I've always been like a cover up. And it may be because I have itty bitties. Well, I had itty bitties. But I've always wanted to keep it classy in the cleavage area, and you can keep it a little tight on the butt, but keep it at a good length or whatever for the skirt. Don't the fingertip rule they had in high school, everybody hated. I'm one of those prudes like that. So when he asked me that, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Um, I'm starting to think that this is a trend of make believe because I don't when I go out and we go out, I don't see that. Now, granted, I live in Texas and it's hot. But when it is cold, I see some weird stuff. I see we went to the grocery store and I saw a man with a sweatshirt on, full sweatshirt with some shorts on, like basketball shorts. And I think he had some boots on or something. But it looked like a regular, it looked like the way he just dresses on a regular daily basis. And so I was just like, is that normal? Because it was cold outside, it's cool outside, and I have Graves' disease, so I have cold intolerance at times and then heat intolerance at times. And so I'm like, I get the struggle is real sometimes with that. And I was just like, I can't believe he came out here with this sweatshirt on with shorts. And I saw a woman do it, and she had on the same thing with flip flops, and then she had it's kind of just weird like that. Pretty much you dressed, but you dress for 5 different seasons. That is how Texas weather is, but I haven't seen anybody, and that's just no lie. I don't live by a beach, but I have not seen anyone out here dressed in a halter top or a Tommy Hilfiger bra or anything that has anything to do with showing the whole stomach and or any sheer anything. Now, I'm not a night scene nightclub type person, so maybe that's why. But I haven't seen that just on a regular daily basis where I've been seeing it on these love and hip hop shows type shows or whatever. Now, what brought me back to want to do this review, which I've already wasted 4 minutes of your time talking about, is the situation with Kenya and the situation with Kim. Um, at this point, I'm pretty sure y'all watched a good amount of reviews. You probably watched Keisha Irvin, Color Me Pink. I love watching her reviews. And also you may have watched maybe Quentin or Justin at this point. And the thing is, they give you, the good meats and the potatoes, and they give you their good opinions. So now it's time for me to give mine, but I don't want to go blow for blow for the stuff that you really don't care about. And the two big issues were the Million Man March and Kenya and her mother situation. At this point, Kim, I I I was I was not liking the fact that Kim came on, and for a totally different reason from a lot of people. I did not like the direction that Real Housewives was going. I loved back in the day when Nene, Deshaun, Lisa, who else was it? Lisa Deshaun, Sheree, Kim, and it may have been someone else that I'm missing. But when those ladies who we did not know anything about outside of, they had maybe rich husbands and they were actually supposed to be housewives, we did not know them. They weren't a household name before this. They weren't people we knew. I've seen Kenya Moore I've seen her on Martin in Way to Excel. I've seen her on Deliver Us from Eva. I've seen her in a lot of stuff. And so I didn't like the fact that they started getting people. Candy she wasn't too bad because she hadn't been out in so long, but I didn't like that they were going in a celebrity direction. This is supposed to be Real Housewives. If you wanted to make it about celebrity wives or celebrity women, period, you have this platform, you have this network to do that, to, do Where Are They Now or whatever, or, just I don't know, celebrity women abroad. I don't know, but they could have had their own platform to do something else with these celebrity women. Phaedra would have been fine, even though I don't care for a lot of her antics. But I mean, maybe Cynthia, because she wasn't well known as like a household name, but I do remember seeing her in Jet magazine and stuff like that. So I like the direction that they were in before. I don't like the direction of trying to get these celebrities, because now it not only is it tainting the brand, it's tainting her name as well, because now we're getting an inside look of her and we are not feeling this Kim feels that we're seeing. She's not Regine. What we want to. I think at this point most people will want to see Regine Hunter acting, as Kim feels. Just give us that character and fake it to us that you're that chick that you used to be, and we would probably love it. But when she came on, I liked her because she reminded me of me. And I know it sounds bad because a lot of people think she's weird because she's is it a hermit or a habit? It's a hermit, I believe. Someone who stays in the house all day and all that stuff. I do that. I hate going outside. I hate leaving. I only leave for doctor's appointments and to go back home. And from time to time, if I'm feeling good, I'll go grocery shopping with my husband. But other than that, I don't like to leave the house. And so I felt like Kim Fields kind of showed me how I was living, and the more I watched her, the more she made me feel weird about myself. And so I was like, well, dang, am I that darn crazy? I only got one baby. He only 4 months now, but am I gonna be doing this, having freeze-dried bananas on a boat with books and stuff, just looking bored out? I mean, I do play on my iPad and stuff, but goodness, like, it's my life. I don't want my life to look like that. And then not only that, to just feel judgmental about people who are not married or whatever, or single moms or whatever. Because that's what it feels like coming from me. It feels like Kim feels is judgmental towards them, and I don't like that. Now, this is the other thing. They went to Washington D.C. for the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. And I wish I would have known. I probably would have tried to get out there, but I'm not in the loop on anything, so I would never know. They went to something that was monumental to me because of where we are right now and because of what's been going on lately. And not just that, but today is Martin Luther King Day. Now that right now while I'm recording this video, and that is a big, big, big step to see how many people were out there for a positive, very, very positive message to our people who are so beautiful. Because I believe black people are so beautiful, and not saying anybody else is not, but I feel like black people have been put down so long about how we look, how we act, how we behave. Let's act. Well, how we behave, how we, how we are, and we are so misunderstood that people don't really like what they don't understand, and they judge it. And so when you see something so beautiful as that many people coming together to see to recognize the Million Man March, that is something that you would definitely should want to get into and teach and be a part of. I really cannot stand Phaedra. I can't stand the fake phony Christian act. I don't like it. But I love the fact that she, I spitting? Sorry. I love the fact that she did that. She got the women to do it. I'm not sure why she didn't have Kenya or Cynthia there. I saw Peter in a picture, but I'm not sure why she didn't have them there. But the fact that she did it, and she was meeting with these women, because I think it's the lady. Ooh, is it not Shirley Ralph, but it's Sheila Lee Jackson out of Texas. When you meet with those type of people, that's something that you will take with you for forever. And if she would have showed her sons correctly, and I'm not telling her how to raise them, but if she would have talked to them correctly about who these people were, at some point they would have, not the youngest one, but Sebastian at some point would have remembered that later on in life. To this day, my dad, I don't know what it was we went to. I was a little girl. My dad took me to see John Wiley Price. And if you guys know anything about Dallas or black, what do you call them? Whatever Cornell X is. Civil rights type men. If you know anything about them, John Wiley Price, it was really, really big back then when I met him. And I don't know what the premise was. I cannot remember it, but I do remember to this day that I met John Wiley Price. So it's one of those things where you take your kids somewhere, and even if you are not cool with what's being discussed, you can, shield them in a different way than being rude and walking out the room saying, oh, no, we're just going to go and have a conversation or something. And just be rude about it. Go sit back on the bus and then say, okay, well, I'm booked. Like she was, what's that girl name on the Real Divas, R&B Divas? Kelly Price. She's booked for the night of the march, so she has to go, and she just didn't like the subject matter that was being talked about. First of all, she has 2 sons, and the oldest son, Sebastian, I don't talk about people's kids, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but his attitude, I know they had him mic'd for a reason. His attitude, why am I here? I don't want to do this. This is for y'all. This is y'all's play day. I don't want to do this. It was a good teachable moment for Kim to say, this is our history. This is our legacy. They, many of you know, they are taking Black history out of textbooks, especially in Texas, and they are not trying to teach Black history or slavery like it was. So that would have been a very valuable, teachable moment for her, even if she wants to do it in a different way. She could have told them before they got there, look, it might be a little boring to you, but one day you will understand what's going on. And even if she didn't want to tell them about little, is his name Travis? Oh my goodness. I'm so mad that I forgot that little baby name. The little 12-year-old who got shot at the playground with the toy gun. What is his name? It's not Travis. Rice. Javon. Is it Javon Rice? I think so. So it would have been the perfect time to kind of, just explain there are a few things going on in America that you may not understand now, but in time you will. And this is the reason you can't play with toy guns. And this is the reason that we don't let you do this, that, the other, or whatever. It would have been a great teachable moment, even on the bus. But she's upset at the situation and why they're put in a situation to have to talk about real issues with Black people at the Million Man March, mind you. So that's my spiel on that. I don't like that she took them out of her that way. If she was booked for real for the Million Man March, that's fine. But her whole attitude about it was just so nasty to me. And I didn't like none of that. I mean, support your people. Don't act like it's a problem to tell our young men and young women that they are valued or are being devalued out here any day. You are not going to be with him every day, every step of the way, with it, in every situation. So when he's out there, he needs to know that he needs to protect himself by doing whatever it is that won't get him pulled over or stopped while he's just walking on the sideway. On the sidewalk with a hoodie on or whatever. You need to have those conversations, and I know you may be scared to do that, but it needs to be had. Also, one person brought up in a comment that she may have grew up in a time where Black people weren't really seen for what they for their talents, and she wanted to show him that he could make it, that pretty much there's no reason that you can't make it on your own talent and your own accoutrements or whatever your own talents, pretty much, that she doesn't want to tell him about being um being Black in a white society, like they're not ruling everything, so he can just be a person and not be a Black boy and think that he's different from everybody else, but just to think that he's part of a whole. I understand that, but you still need to have a conversation. I'm sorry, and that's just the truth, because that's just the way that we're moving right now, and you know, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So the last thing is Kenya's situation with her mom. Uh, Before I touch that, I'm gonna touch on a situation I had with my own family, and it's two reasons that it made me want to talk about this. One is because I have a cousin. She was her mom got pregnant with her when she was 13 years old, and her mom's mom, so her grandma, um, took told everyone that she was her mom. So let me give them some names. Okay, so pretty much my cousin's name, we'll say, is Shay. And then we'll say that Shay's real mom is named Lori. And then we'll say that that Lori's mom is named Kenya. That way you can understand my story. So Shay's mom was 13. Lori was 13 when she had Shay. And well, not Lori, but Kenya didn't want anybody to know that her baby was pregnant that young. So Kenya took Shay as her own child and told everyone that, she had that baby. But the older people in the family knew that that was not what it was. My mom told my dad, we were on our way out of town because they live in East Texas, and we were on our way out there, and my mom was talking about the situation, and my sister ended up telling Shay, who was my cousin, that her mom was really Lori and not Kenya, if that makes sense. So she ended up spilling the beans that the grandmama was the grandmama and the mama was, the one who she thought was her sister was actually her mom. So it was kind of crazy. I was real young, so I wasn't in there all that struggle and tussle back then when they was all upset and up in arms about it because my sister had the big mouth. But she was a kid. She was probably 13 then or something like that, or 11, I think. She was young. But she let it out, and I don't think they like my mom ever since because my sister let the cat out the bag and all that good stuff. But to this day, with them knowing that her, Shay and Lori are really good. They look actually like sisters. I guess because they're so, she was so young when she had her. They actually do look like sisters. And then her grandma does look like she could still be her mom at this point. That's how, Black don't crack, so they do look young. So it kind of reminded me of Kenya's situation. Now, to Kenya's situation, she went to her mom's house. She knocked on the door. Her mom said, "Don't answer the door." And not only that, she locks the door, tells somebody, "Don't answer the door." And Lori, what did she say? Lori said that her mom was in there by herself, and she was scared or something to that effect. Now, let's rewind and remember that Kenya said that she told somebody, don't let her in. Now, if she was in there by herself scared, who was she talking to? Herself? Did she tell herself, don't let her in? Or was she talking to somebody who was sitting in that house with her? Or was she talking to another sister? Like, Lord, I don't understand how that even makes sense, but whatever. What I want to get to is the fact that this is not the first time Kenya has tried to talk to her mom. People have brought up the fact that Kenya, when she won Miss USA back in 1993, she was talking about her relationship with her mom and how her mom had reached out to her. And I'm not exactly sure about the situation, so I won't report it as if I know it. But she did say that her mom had reached out to her about the situation back then. Not the situation, but she had reached out to her, and Kenya wanted her to apologize for how she treated her back then. So this is 93. Y'all do the math. I'm tired. So this is that many years ago. And then Kenya was also saying she's been in rooms with her mom and her mom would act like she didn't even exist. And so I got to thinking, like, what is it? What's going, what was so bad that her mom can't even look her in the face, look her in the eye, whatever. And I read a comment somewhere and it said, I think that Kenya's mom was raped by Kenya's granddad. And when she got raped, they didn't want the family to know that Kenya was the product of incest. And so that's why she can't look Kenya in the face, because it reminds her of what happened. This could be complete speculation, but if it were true or somewhere around that some kind of way is true, and they were saying like the reason that Kenya's dad is her dad is because that's the guy that her mom was messing with at the time, or talking to at the time, and they pinned Kenya on him. That, I mean, it could be completely false, but if an inkling of it is true, then I understand, but don't condone why Kenya's mom could be in the same room with her and act like she doesn't exist. I can understand that hurt. I also understand Kenya's attitude, so to say, always needing attention. If I'm in the same room with my mom and she won't speak to me, talk to me, whatever, acknowledge me, I'm going to act up and try to get her attention, to get her to tell me, shut up, sit down, do something, but speak to me and say something. So I think, honestly, I think that is where Kenya gets that I want to be seen attitude from, because if you sit in the room with someone that you want attention from and they won't give it to you, you act out in a childish manner to try to get their attention. And when she didn't get it, that's what happened. And I think that that's honestly why why she acts the way she acts. Give it to you. I love Kenya. So I haven't been feeling her this season up until the incident with Tammy getting pushed. I thought she was absolutely correct for asking homeboy to leave, who was throwing up the gang signs. I think she was correct. But before that, on boat and all that stuff, asking people to get to leave and all that good stuff, and when they had her starting stuff at the Bailey eyeglass thing, she was getting on my nerves, but I loved her up until that point. And I loved the dynamic that she had brought to the show, because I felt like she was reviving a sinking ship of the Nene show. So those were the two big things that I saw or whatever. At some point, let me say this. People think that Kenya went to her mom's house with cameras, and that's why her mom didn't want to answer the door. I don't know if a lot of y'all remember seeing the episode last week, but the cameras were on the bus. The cameras did not get off the bus until after Kenya was knocking on the door and her dad got off the bus to go get Kenya and tell her to come on. But the camera was zooming in from the bus window to where Kenya was at the door, and they were on a van, not a bus, I'm sorry. So it's not like the mom could see that it was cameras filming her or whatever. It was, just the fact that she could see that it was a van outside her house, and then Kenya was at the door or whatever. I'm sure the producers probably reached out to her and she had already said no. I'm sure of it. But what I will say is, for people who say she's just doing this for TV, it needs to be done on TV, because Kenya is not the only motherless child out there, and someone else is going through a story that is very, very similar to what Kenya has gone through. So somebody needs to see that. And remember back when Nene found out that her dad wasn't her real dad, and she went through that, and it was all on TV for, I guess, a storyline, as we were calling it for Kenya. It's the same thing. It's a story that people need to see, for those who can relate and cannot. I mean, for those who can't relate, whatever. But for those who can relate, that's great. For those who have a great relationship with their mom, could not imagine not going a day without talking to their mom, or for those who have a strained relationship with their mom, they can see how much worse it could have been. So I don't like to hear people say she did that for the camera, because this is supposed to be reality. It's not real, but it's realistic. It's real life situations given a little scripted action. So you're tired of seeing Kenya's crazy antics. You're tired of seeing Kenya act crazy. But you don't want to see Kenya act real. You don't want to see her real story. It's for TV, it's for cameras, it's for show. So what do you really want from her? I mean, you just want her out the show, period. You don't want her to get a paycheck. I don't get it. I mean, that's just my spiel on it. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody, but if we could see Portia shaking her booty in a thong, I feel a lot more comfortable seeing Kenya try to regain a relationship with her mom. And if it took a TV camera being there for her to get her mom to talk to her, then so be it. But I'm for one glad that she put that story out there. It's embarrassing not to be able to even have the door open and be treated like a Jehovah's Witness at your own mom's house and try to get answers. So just know that was probably very hard for her. And no, I don't think she was just putting on stunts and shows, because we've seen her put on shows for this show, just doing off the wall stuff, playing with Apollo at the pool, flirting with people, dancing on Peter. She's done stuff that we don't care about, but this is the stuff that this is the real life type of stuff that we really do want to see. So why would you get mad about her going out there with a camera when she's reached out to her mom before and she's been getting the same reaction? She's just really trying to get closure. And so we got to see it. I'm just glad we did. I mean, for y'all who don't, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Other than that, Nene's back. I'm sure somebody's happy. I don't really care. It seems like she only thrives when there's drama, and she doesn't want the drama. So if she doesn't want the drama, and she's only really good when it's drama. I'm sorry for talking with my hand, because this mug has been in church mode. But Nene coming back, she doesn't want. I'm hoping she's fun again. I love Nene season 1 through 3 ish, up until Candy got there. I loved her up until that point. I loved her relationship with Kim a lot. But the Queen Bee act, I don't like it. I don't like the I'm above everybody type thing, because these women had careers. These women now who are on the show had careers, before Nene was on Housewives. So it's like, ain't nobody above nobody in my book. Even Tootie or whatever. Yeah, she's, she was in the Facts of Life. I didn't watch it. But yeah, they all have their own claim to fame. So to me, they're all on the TV, on the same show, on the same platform right now at this point. So nobody to me is better than anybody. But Nene being back, I'm glad she's getting a check, because I don't really see her being in an Oscar award winning movie or whatever, unless she links up with Lee Daniels and plays a slave or something, because that's the only way we're going to get one. But other than that, that's all I got for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sorry for making it so long. Sorry for wasting all y'all time in the beginning and all that good stuff. But those were the big 2 issues that I wanted to speak about. And hopefully I'll be here next week to talk about it again. I'm hopefully doing Love and Hip Hop New York. And I haven't watched the new, the Potomac, whatever. I figure out how to say it once I watch it, but I haven't watched the new Housewives. Other than that, let me know what y'all thought about those 2 situations. Everything else pretty much, who really cares? But just let me know what y'all think in the comments. God bless y'all and have a great day. Bye-bye.